Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Meeting Replay, a series where I break down how modern financial advisors are actually using AI inside real client conversations. This isn't theory or best practices. These are real workflows, real meetings, and what's actually changing because of AI. And today we're stepping inside a client meeting centered around a complex planning relationship with multiple goals, competing priorities, and a lot of moving pieces to keep track of. So we're going to unpack that meeting, explore the AI behind it, how it was supported, and talk through what happens when advisors can stay fully present without losing the details thanks to AI. And joining me today is Danielle Darling, founder of Darling Wealth Management and a CDFA, and probably one of the coolest last names that I've ever heard of. And Danielle works with ambitious professionals and multi-generational families, helping them align their financial decisions with the life that they truly want to build. She brings a planning-first approach to wealth management, which makes her an amazing guest for today's show. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me today.
Where are you dialing in from?
I'm dialing in from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. I'm so excited to talk about this and dive right into the first question that I have for you. And that usually on this show starts with, take me through an actual client meeting that you recently had. And in this case, one where there was maybe a lot of moving pieces. Just take me through, Danielle, what made this conversation particularly complex? And then we'll get into the AI stuff.
A young couple reached out to me, couple I went to college with, and they were going through a major transition period in life. We're talking planning to welcome their first child, planning a move across the country. One spouse works for a company that has a big IPO happening in a few weeks.
Wow.
And there's significant private company stock exposure there. So you name it, all of the life changes were happening at once. On top of this, they're in their early 30s, and their main goal is early retirement at late 40s, early 50s. So, we're dealing with concentrated stock positions, tax efficient investing, life insurance analysis, backdoor Roth IRAs, 529 planning, and we have the Trump accounts coming out this year. So for this family, it was balancing their liquidity needs for the home projects for their move back, planning for childcare when their baby arrived, along with future lifestyle goals. They had been driving 15-year-old cars, and we're both planning on getting a family-friendly car. So there was a lot going on with managing that liquidity while also knowing most of their nest egg was in this concentrated stock position.
So the whole kit and caboodle is like what I'm hearing here. There's a lot going on. I just want to say too, a lot of respect for these clients of yours, especially with the 15-year-old cars. I definitely admire that. I drive an old car. I love it. It's paid off. I want to keep it that way. Okay, that's not the important part here. What's important is I'm genuinely curious, like when you're in a meeting like that with lots of moving pieces, details coming up in real time, some competing priorities, where do you, as the financial advisor, personally feel maybe the tension between being fully present and making sure you're not missing any of that? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, so for backstory, my grandpa was a financial advisor and I purchased his practice. He was in his 80s when he retired to exit the practice, and he had a very paper and pen mentality. And what's interesting is today, Darling Wealth Management is mostly all virtual, and we want to be as innovative with tech as possible. So mind you, when we're working with the early career professionals or ambitious professionals in life, all of these meetings are being done on Zoom because everyone's across the country and everyone values time. We're all ambitious and working hard. So leading with emotional intelligence has been a very big area that I focus on. So for me, it's trying to balance EQ and DQ, digital intelligence. So it's a big priority for me to manage the conversations and lead with emotions while also being highly detailed, where I used to have a pen and paper and take notes so diligently. And now it's nice to have capture everything. So I'm like, all right, throw all the details at me, just say them and I know it's recording, versus them saying all the details and me saying, hey, wait, let me take a minute to write that down. So we're client and advisor more efficient.
Okay, I want to pull out a few things from this that I loved. EQ and DQ, like never heard of it that way. Absolutely obsessed with that. And I think those are two incredibly important factors now more than ever. So I love that that is your focus. And you mentioned that you use Jump, and I would love to maybe talk a little bit more about AI and Jump and how this is supporting you. So, maybe we sort of shift into the AI side of this for now. So for this client relationship, you use Jump, you record your meetings. Tell me a little bit more about this. Like, are there any other workflows around this that you've implemented? Where truly did AI come in for a meeting like this and help you before, during, and after the meeting? And I ask you this question with the lens of maybe other financial advisors tuning in who haven't implemented AI yet, or they're still trying to figure this whole thing out, as we all are, maybe thinking about what you say and how it could help them.
Yeah, I've had client meetings where we've worked as an advisory team, and recently I rebranded and went solo. And I do want to mention that Jump is just as valuable in both of those scenarios. So, whether you are a solo advisor like me or you are part of a larger team, Jump can still help the advisors and clients tremendously. Now, as a solo advisor, AI has played such an incredible role because I'm allowed to be more present with clients in the meetings. And previously, someone might be in that meeting solely for note taking, and your client might get that impression that your skill set is to take notes and not to be an advisor offering guidance. So during the meetings, I have Jump on, and what I love about it is that it automatically helps organize the conversation because, again, I lead with EQ, so we sometimes go off on a tangent and bounce around in conversation. So I've actually had 443 meetings recorded with Jump.
Wow.
I'm a high level, high detail advisor. So I would probably spend 45 minutes after every meeting typing out the notes into my CRM and then retyping a client email. And now Jump does all of this with a few clicks. And I know a lot of advisors talk about workflows. I didn't even have a workflow. I had a sticky note, and now I'm using a CRM that really is high tech. So workflows on sticky notes still happen, but are few and far between. So, I mean, I think I've probably saved over 300 hours of work. And if you break that down into a 40-hour work week, that would be months of work that I shaved off.
That is profound. And I so appreciate that you came to today's conversation with these stats and these numbers, because I really think it helps quantify the value of AI in your client meetings for everyone, for other advisors. But I'm sure, Danielle, you also feel that your clients are feeling the benefit of this, right? They're able to maybe look you more eye to eye versus, you kind of pen down, taking notes, and then coming up periodically. I'm sure that they're feeling the benefit of this too.
Especially AI has really improved my efficiency without sacrificing personalization, and it has elevated both the experience for the client and advisor.
hmm And you mentioned you use a high-tech CRM. Just curious if you want to share what that is with the audience.
Yeah, I've had familiarity with Redtail, and felt Wealthbox was a better fit for me. And as much integration as I could possibly get, I'm here for. So I have an online scheduling tool. It links with Zoom. It links with my email inbox. Um, it's so great. So when a client schedules, they automatically get a Zoom link, and then Jump automatically shows up to the meeting. So I save so many extra steps by my tech integrations.
1000%. Two more quick questions, because I usually like to keep these interviews short and sweet. I know you and I could talk all day, but as a solo advisor, because I do want to jump in a little bit deeper there, I think this is such an impactful tool for you and AI in general. But being a solo advisor, I mean, you're wearing a lot of hats. There's a lot of layers there. So when you have AI and tools like Jump, how does that help you create a more organized and maybe responsive experience for your clients behind the scenes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it goes back to the note taking. I feel like, I mean, it's scientifically proven we retain more information by writing things down. So I
Mhm,
would write things down. Sometimes I would try to type out the meeting with the client present, but I was looking at my
mm,
screen more than the client.
mhm.
So I would take my handwritten notes, retype them after the meeting, input that into my CRM, and then retype an email to a client. So again, jump knowing how to organize notes and also knowing my email preference and my email
Mm.
style has really saved so much time. And clients want to feel heard, they want to feel understood, not like they're talking to someone buried in a keyboard or a notepad. And then if the client's talking to the advisor and they're not taking notes, they should be concerned on that front as well. So AI really has supported the human side of planning for me and creating a space to really strengthen the relationships with clients to have more sincere conversations.
Yeah, I like the way that you put that. More sincere conversations. You're fully focused. And I think, using AI, it shows your clients you're competent as well. Like you're staying ahead and on top of what's happening in the technology space, what's happening with AI. It is inevitable. You're not, kind of behind and being skeptical. This is happening and this is happening quickly. So kudos to you, Danielle, for like jumping in, literally jumping in here and getting started with AI and using it to the benefit of you, but also to your clients. Now, I know as my last question, I know for sure we've got advisors tuned in right now that haven't used AI, that are probably contemplating between maybe Jump and other tools, or they are just completely skeptical of this and don't really want to get involved. And they think handwritten notes are the best way. And look, to each their own. Any advice that you would give them? What have you learned about AI and staying present while still delivering a strong follow through for your clients? What would you share with them?
Yeah, first, I think handwritten notes are great. I make a priority to send everyone a birthday card every year so they get that physical
Wonderful.
piece
Mhm.
of mail. And clients will say, "Oh, this was the only card I received," because
Yeah.
people receive text and calls. So I don't want to negate the power of a handwritten note, but no, I'm not sending a really full thank you note off. A birthday card is a great, efficient touch to really hug your client. So for advisors not using Jump, I would say if or any other tool. If you're not using AI to help you, you're probably at risk of others coming in and really kind of outpacing you. And clients really don't expect for AI to solve everything. Advisors shouldn't expect for AI to solve anything. It should really be a thought partner that challenges you and encourages you. And I'm working with ambitious professionals, okay? They are also wanting to learn. So, in a lot of these conversations, I feel like I'm sharing my AI knowledge with them, and
Mhm.
then they can go off and really be a more productive um, person, in their professional life and also personal life as well. So
Oh,
when it comes to advisors who maybe haven't fully implemented it, I would say give it a try. You have no downside risk. We see you can start a trial here at Jump. What I love about Jump is that everyone listens to feedback. They're always innovating. And Jump has felt like a partner in my business rather than just a tool. I don't feel like I have to sit on a 1-800 number line hold. And I feel like Jump is really incredible at looking at the advisor experience and working to enhance it. And relationships, with our clients are really complex and they can't be solved in one meeting. So it's an ongoing process. And Jump really captures that whole journey of your relationship with your client. It really helps you become proactive with communication and also doing so in a way that's not going to overwhelm your clients. So I've just really focused on learning the balance of being thoughtful while also incorporating simplicity and providing, detailed next steps for the client, detailed next steps for me. So we're all aligned on the same page. And AI has just really supported that process. It's learned my system and process. So it can automatically jump in when I have a new client meeting with a different set of circumstances, but we're solving for similar goals.
ugh. Gosh, that was just like amazing. And I thank you, Danielle, for sharing the love around Jump and just the, overall bigger picture use case of AI. That alone needs to be clipped into a video and like sent to the whole industry because you make so many good points. This is helpful to you. And I just want to say I appreciate how you're sharing your DQ with your clients, right? Like your uptake of AI inspires them. And that's really impactful. That's, strengthening that human to human relationship you have with your clients outside of the technical expertise in finance. So you're wonderful, Danielle. I knew you'd be such a great guest for today's show. Thank you for sharing your real life application of AI and wealth management, how you're using Jump, what you think about it. I know advisors who are tuning into this are going to really appreciate your message here and probably take action with it quite quickly. And for everyone in our audience, if you're still tuned in, you can start your 14-day free trial of AI, of Jump, by scanning the QR code down here at the bottom of the screen. I highly encourage you to give it a try. Like Danielle said, you have nothing to lose. And again, it's a free 14-day trial. So scan that QR code. Danielle, thank you again. And for everyone, we will